The best 5 bets in college basketball for Saturday, February 14th, coming your way right now. Off the jump, it's our best bet for the show, our daily sizzler. It's Texas A&M plus 6.5 at Vanderbilt. That's a lot of points to give an SEC team that's one of the best offenses in the country. A&M is the 7th highest scoring team in the nation, and they average 90.9 points per game. They've been nearly impossible to blow out. The Aggies have covered this number of plus 6.5 in every single game but one since December 14th. The only team that didn't cover against was Florida. They've covered this number in every road game since November 20th. To beat a good offensive team by this margin, it's done defensively, not offensively. And Vanderbilt's strength lies in their offense, not their defense. Vanderbilt's defense, even at home, has been very inconsistent. Vanderbilt has been overvalued by the books. They've only covered the spread in 4 of their last 10 games. Texas A&M has been undervalued by the books. The Aggies are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games when lined as an underdog. Texas A&M plus 6.5, today's Daily Sizzler. If you're looking for my best premium play of the day, my best of the best, that's called my $5 favorite, and you can get it in the comment section, just $5, and it gets sent right to your phone. If you're looking for more than that, if you want to roll with everything that I'm rolling with today and every day, you can do that by becoming a Jungle member at silverbackjungle.com or text free trial to the number on your screen. Now we're looking at Florida minus 11.5 over Kentucky. I believe Florida is, even though they're ranked 14th in the AP, I think they're undervalued and underrated. I have them top 5, and KenPom has them 5th as well. Florida has had the 4th most difficult schedule in the country. They're battle-tested, and they've been covering big spreads at home against good teams. They've covered this number of minus 11.5 at home in every conference game except for one. They beat Georgia by 15, Tennessee by 24, LSU by 18, and Alabama by 23. I believe Kentucky has been overvalued by the books. They're 2-3 against the spread in their last 5 conference games with straight-up losses to Alabama by 15 and Vanderbilt by 25. Florida has a huge edge on the glass in this game. They're the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country. Kentucky is 120th in defensive rebounding. I like the Gators minus the 11.5. Next, I like Miami plus 6.5 on the road against North Carolina State. The Hurricanes coming off a big win at home against North Carolina, but I see this more as continuing momentum than I do a flat spot for the Hurricanes. They've been really good on the road this season. 5-1 straight up, and dating back to last season, they're 8-4 against the spread in their last 12 road games. Season long, this is a number that Miami has covered in 88% of games. NC State has covered their end of this number, minus 6.5, just 60% of games this season. North Carolina State can score, but their defense leaves a lot to be desired. The Wolfpack 201st in points allowed, allowing opponents 74.3 points per game. They're also one of the worst perimeter defenses in the country, 272nd in three-point defense. These teams have almost identical conference records, almost identical records against top 25 teams, and home court hasn't really been that strong for NC State, just 10-3 straight up at home and just 40% against the spread at home with losses straight up to Virginia and Georgia Tech. I like the Hurricanes plus the 6.5. Next up, I have Iowa State minus 5.5 over Kansas. Now, Kansas has won 8 straight games, including wins at Texas Tech, and they just beat, of course, Arizona, the number 1 team at the time in the country. They're hot, and they've been doing a lot of it without Darren Peterson. That being said, Iowa State is coming off of a loss. It's a focus spot. They're undefeated at home this season, and they've covered this number of minus 5.5 in 85% of home games. They're also one of only 5 teams in the country that are ranked top 17 in KenPom, both offensively and defensively. Iowa State 2-0 against top 25 teams. Kansas, although they've had big wins, just 5-3 straight up against top 25 teams. Kansas is on the road, super high, comes super high off that win against Arizona. Could be a flat spot. Iowa State at home after a bad loss to TCU as a 7.5-point favorite. And because of these two things, this is a price that you're not going to see again, that you shouldn't see with Iowa State at home. Lay the 5.5 with the Cyclones. When you're shopping for prices, when you're placing bets, You should look at every sports book that your state has legal. If you don't, you're leaving money on the table. It's literally going to the store and buying something for a more expensive price. MyBookie.ag is a sponsor of the show, and they have a deal for Jungle viewers. Not only are they legal in all 50 states so you can use them, but they've got a deal for Jungle viewers. Open up a new account today at MyBookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK. And if your first bet doesn't hit, it's refunded up to $500. Last game we're looking at today. I like Arizona, minus 9.5 at home over Texas Tech. Texas Tech is explosive offense, but their record against good teams concerns me. They're just 3-5 straight up against top 25 teams, and their defense against good teams is concerning. They're 3-3 straight up on the road this season. The Red Raiders are. It's a high spread against a good team, but it's high for a reason. Arizona has won every home game except one by at least 10 points, and they're coming off a loss on the road at Kansas. Like I said, a focus spot for maybe the best team in the country. They're number 8 in the country offensively, according to KenPom, number 2 defensively. I think that Arizona's size, presence in the paint offensively and defensively, the number 2 rebounding team in the country, is going to be too much for Texas Tech. I think that for Texas Tech to stay in this game, they're going to have to make a ton of threes, and that's tough to do against Arizona, and it's tough to do on the road. I want the better team, the bigger team, coming off of a loss at home in a focus spot. Arizona wins this game by double digits. Have a great day, Jungle Nation. Put your favorite bets of the day in the comment section, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.